In 1555, a French physician put down his quill and wrote something that should terrify every American alive today. He didn't write about plagues or natural disasters. He wrote about you. About this year. About a leader who would rise from ashes and the choice that would define whether humanity survives what's coming. And the most disturbing part, he knew most people wouldn't see it coming. Pause this video right now and ask yourself, have you felt it? That gnawing sensation that something fundamental is shifting beneath our feet. That's not anxiety, that's recognition. Welcome to Beyond the Prophecy. I'm here to show you what they don't want you to see. This isn't another conspiracy video. This isn't fear-mongering. This is about connecting dots that have been sitting in plain sight for 5 centuries. Nostradamus left us 5 specific warnings for 2026, not vague symbolism, not riddles that could mean anything. 5 precise signposts that are appearing exactly where he said they would. And if you're watching this right now, there's a reason. The algorithm didn't bring you here by accident. Your subconscious recognized something in that thumbnail, in that title, that your rational mind hasn't fully processed yet. So let me be clear about what we're doing here. We're not predicting the future. We're recognizing it. Because Nostradamus understood something modern science is only now beginning to prove. That time isn't a straight line. It's a pattern. And patterns repeat. Before we go further, hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for yourself. Because what comes next will reframe everything you thought you understood about 2026, about Trump, about the world you're living in right now. Let's begin. Century 8, Quatrain 14. Nostradamus wrote, "When the firmament reveals unknown signs, men of science will question their certainties, and the divine will speak through what they believed was empty." For centuries, scholars dismissed this as poetic reference to comets or eclipses. They were wrong. In the last 6 months alone, the Pentagon has declassified footage of aerial phenomena that defy every law of physics we understand. Not fringe reports, not conspiracy theories. Official military documentation of objects moving at speeds and angles that should be impossible. Pilots with decades of experience are going on record, their voices shaking, describing encounters that shattered their understanding of reality. But here's what Nostradamus actually saw. This isn't about alien invasion. It's about awakening. The sky, both literal and metaphorical, is forcing us to confront a question we've been avoiding for millennia. Are we alone? Not just in the universe, but in our own consciousness. Think about it. Why now? Why 2026? Because Nostradamus understood that celestial events don't just happen. They mirror our collective internal state. When humanity reaches critical mass confusion, denial, disconnection, the universe sends unmistakable signs. It's not punishment, it's awakening. The atmospheric anomalies scientists can't explain, the electromagnetic disturbances, the mass sightings that are becoming impossible to ignore. These aren't random, they're calibrated, designed to shake us from our sleep. And here's the terrifying truth. Not everyone will see the same thing when they look up. Some will see unexplained phenomena and immediately reach for conventional explanations, desperate to maintain their worldview. Others, maybe you, will look at that same sky and feel something stir deep in your soul, a recognition, a memory you can't quite place. The difference isn't in the sky, it's in you. Nostradamus wrote, "The water that gives life will become a mirror of the human soul, revealing purity where there is pure intention and sickness where there is shadow." Sounds mystical, right? Poetic metaphor? Wrong. In 2026, quantum physicists are confirming what mystics have known for millennia. Water has memory. It responds to human consciousness at a molecular level. This isn't pseudoscience. This is documented, repeatable research showing that water's crystalline structure physically changes when exposed to different emotional frequencies. Words of gratitude, thoughts of love, intentions of healing, All of it leaves an imprint. Now think about this. America is facing the worst water crisis in its history, not just drought, not just contamination. A crisis of consciousness. Flint still doesn't have clean water. California's reservoirs are at historic lows. And every major water source in this country is contaminated with chemicals that weren't even invented when Nostradamus made his prediction. But here's where it gets dark. Nostradamus said this crisis wouldn't follow logical patterns of industrial pollution. It would follow patterns of collective consciousness. Communities awakening spiritually, honoring the earth, living in harmony. They're reporting inexplicable improvements in water quality. Places dominated by greed, exploitation, disconnection. The water is dying faster than science can explain. Your body is 70% water. The planet is 70% water. You're not drinking a resource. You're drinking consciousness. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every intention you hold, it's being recorded in the water of your cells right now. And in 2026, Nostradamus saw that this would become visible, manifest in your health, your energy, your reality. The water is no longer passive. It's reflecting you back to yourself. What does your water say about you? What was buried in fear will be unearthed by necessity. The ancients will speak again, and the modern will hear what was always there. Right now, as I'm recording this, there's an expedition beneath the Giza Plateau that's been authorized after decades of political and religious blockades. Ground-penetrating radar has detected something that shouldn't exist. Chambers, structures, a library dating back 12,000 years. That's 7,000 years before civilization supposedly began in Sumeria, the official timeline of human history. It's about to be shattered, but here's what they're not telling you. This isn't just about rewriting textbooks. This is about remembering. Nostradamus saw that ancient civilizations reached levels of consciousness we're only beginning to recover. They left time capsules, knowledge, instructions for this exact moment. Why now? Because we're at the same crossroads they faced, the same choice between evolution and extinction. And Trump, love him or hate him, represents something Nostradamus specifically predicted about this era. The return of ancient leadership archetypes, not kings, not politicians, disruptors. The controversial figure who shatters the old order simply by refusing to play by its rules. Whether Trump is aware of his role in this cosmic pattern is irrelevant. He's fulfilling it. The ancient library beneath Egypt contains maps of consciousness, technology that merged the spiritual with the physical, proof that we've been here before. And Nostradamus said this knowledge would reach those who are meant to receive it. Not everyone, not the masses still locked in sleep, but the ones who came here specifically for this transition. If you're feeling like you've been preparing for something your whole life without knowing what this is it, there will arise one whom none expect, not from palaces, but from ashes. He will speak truths that disturb, and the awakened will recognize the voice they've been waiting for. Let's address the elephant in the room, Donald Trump. Love him or hate him, you can't deny the pattern. A leader who emerged not from traditional political lineage, but from perceived failure, multiple bankruptcies, media mockery, complete rejection by the establishment. He lost everything by their standards, and then rose again. Nostradamus was specific. This leader wouldn't seek power, power would seek him. Not through political savvy, but through vibrational alignment with a population desperate for authenticity. In 2026, we're not looking at Trump the politician. We're looking at Trump the archetype. The outsider, the disruptor, the one who says what everyone's thinking but afraid to voice. Nostradamus said this leader would speak in the language of the soul, meaning his message wouldn't be intellectual. It would be vibrational. People wouldn't follow him because of policy. They'd follow him because of how it feels when he speaks. Recognition, resonance, truth. Even if you disagree with every word, you can't deny the phenomenon. But Nostradamus also warned. This leader would face unprecedented resistance. The old systems, the structures of power that benefit from collective sleep, would attempt to silence, discredit, destroy. Every lawsuit, every indictment, every attempt to prevent Trump from 2024, 2026, beyond. It's not just politics. It's the old world trying to prevent the new one from being born. And here's what should terrify you. Nostradamus said the more they try to suppress the truth, the more powerful the movement becomes. You're not fighting a man, you're fighting a pattern, a cosmic inevitability. But Trump isn't the whole story. He's a symbol. Nostradamus saw that true leadership in this era wouldn't come from one person. It would come from distributed consciousness. Millions of awakened souls recognizing each other. You might be one of them. If you felt called to speak your truth, to stop hiding, to step into purpose, that's not ego. That's your soul remembering why you're here. Each soul will feel the call at the destined moment. Some will awaken with thunder, others with whispers, but none who are ready will remain asleep when the universe knocks. This one's not about global events. It's about you. Nostradamus saw two ways people awaken in 2026. Thunder, crisis, loss, breakdown. Everything you thought was stable collapsing until you're forced to ask, who am I? Why am I here? Whisper, subtle. Growing restlessness, synchronicities, dreams more vivid than waking life. A quiet knowing that there's more. Which one is yours? Because if you're watching this, it's already started. Awakening isn't comfortable. It's not about adding more to your life. It's about stripping away everything that isn't actually yours. Beliefs you inherited, identities you built to be accepted. Fears passed down through generations. It's a snake shedding skin. You have to completely release the old to grow into the new. And in that in-between space, confusion, vulnerability. Not knowing who you are anymore. If that's where you are right now, breathe. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Nostradamus saw that 2026 would be the year of mass awakening. Not because of some external event, but because the planet needs critical mass. Enough conscious souls to tip the balance. And everything you need for your next level is already moving toward you. People, opportunities, knowledge, experiences, orchestrated by an intelligence far beyond what your mind can plan. Your only job, trust, surrender, let it unfold. The 5 prophecies aren't separate. They're a map, celestial signs awakening cosmic consciousness, water mirror awakening responsibility as co-creators, ancient discovery awakening ancestral memory, unexpected leader awakening personal power, individual call awakening that makes everything else possible. It's a ladder. Each step prepares you for the next. And America. We're at the center of this transformation, not because we're special, because we're the experiment. A nation built on freedom, corrupted by control, a melting pot of consciousness facing its shadow. Trump, Biden, the division, the chaos, it's not breaking us, it's revealing us. Nostradamus saw that America in 2026 would face a choice. Evolve into unity consciousness or fragment into irrelevance. The world is watching, but more importantly, the universe is watching. Here's the part most people miss. Timing matters. Nostradamus was specific about 2026 because this year represents a window. The veil between dimensions is thinnest. Transformation is easier. Seeds planted now have exponential impact. It's not that after 2026 it's too late, but it will be harder. The support, the grace, the cosmic assistance, it's available now. Nostradamus wasn't a prophet, he was a pattern reader. He accessed a level of consciousness where time isn't linear, where he could see the potentials that activate when enough people choose consciously. The 5 prophecies aren't fixed predictions, they're invitations. If something in this video resonated, if you felt that chill, that recognition, trust it. That's your soul remembering information it already knew but had forgotten. Watch for the signs. They're manifesting in your personal life in unique ways. The universe is speaking constantly through synchronicities, dreams, random encounters that aren't random at all. And most importantly, take aligned action. Knowledge without application is just entertainment. If you now understand you're a co-creator, that you have a unique purpose, that you're in the middle of an awakening, what are you going to do differently? Nostradamus closed his prophecies with a line that's been misunderstood for centuries. The ending is also the beginning, and at the point of greatest darkness, light finds its way. We're at the transition point. The old world is dying, the new world is being born, and you're here in this exact moment of history because your soul chose this. You have a role, something only you can offer. If this resonated, don't just watch and forget. Share this video. Someone else needs to hear this today. Subscribe to Beyond the Prophecy. We're just getting started uncovering what they don't want you to see. And comment below, which prophecy hit you hardest? Are you experiencing thunder or whisper awakening? Let's build this community of awakened souls together. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. You never were. The universe has your back. I'll see you in the next revelation. Until then, stay awake.